10864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it.
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1 point more to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field. Back toward the wall. Gone.
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Thank you. It's a busy day today. We're going to hear from Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. It's a report day for Oregon volleyball. That's right. First day for them back in action. They're getting back to practice in the green and yellow scrimmage coming up in less than 2 weeks. And it's officially game week for Oregon soccer. Exhibition opener. Free to the public on Friday, 7 o'clock against Corbin. It's the first competitive event of the 2022-23 athletic season. It's Friday at Pape Field. Oregon football continuing practice. They were on the fields yesterday. They will be on the fields again this afternoon. Afternoon practices for the first couple weeks of fall camp under new head coach Dan Lanning. Kenny Dillingham, the offensive coordinator for the Ducks, met with the media yesterday in addition to a few student athletes. That's all on the show today. Kenny Dillingham is always going to bring the energy. Last time he was here in the studio, this microphone sitting here to my right was not able to be quiet enough for him. What I mean by that is I had the volume all the way down at 1%, and it was plenty loud when he recorded something in here earlier. That's a true story, actually, and I told Coach Dillingham afterwards I've never had to turn the microphone down quite that low, but that's just the energy that he brings. So we got a lot of fun things on the show for you today. And we begin with the first-time Deputy Athletic Director Eric Rodell is here in studio this year. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hey, Joey. How you doing?
I'm good. So I've been asking everybody this because we were just talking before getting on the air here that, I could get the call from my wife here at any point, and I got to go, and then you're hosting the show the rest of today.
I'm ready. Plug me in.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So you don't have any meetings in the 1:30 to 2 o'clock slot?
I do, but it wouldn't trump this.
Oh, thank you. So. You're nice to lie like that. That's really nice. Eric Rodell, Deputy Athletic Director, joining us. I've been asking everybody for fatherly advice. What's the last piece of fatherly advice that I need before I go into this thing here any day?
Just do what your wife tells you to do, and you'll be good to go.
All right. I like that. I also have been told, actually by Coach Ulmer last week, he told me, what I'm going to tell you is maybe the most important thing I'll ever say to you. Don't be you during the birthing process. In other words, don't make jokes. That's what Coach Ulmer told me. So
that's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Your wife won't want to hear your jokes.
No. She never does anyway, but, she lives with me, and so she gets stuck with them. But I think that's good advice. I appreciate that. What'd you do all summer? Kind of a slow news summer, Eric. Nothing happened in college athletics.
Yeah, it's going fast. The summer's flying by. We do still have summer left, though, so let's remember that. But, it's hard to believe we're second week in August and talking about soccer scrimmages and, 3.5 weeks from the Georgia game.
That's right.
So it's been fun. We've been traveling a bit. We went back in East Coast, saw our family, what we usually do, about 8 or 9 days. And, that's a whirlwind trip for us. And took a couple of the boys down to Alabama earlier in July for a big tennis tournament they were playing in.
Sweet.
So we've been racking up some miles, having some travel, but it's been great.
That's what you do.
This summer's been a little unique, in the sense that, we had like 11 big track events from early April all the way through the end of July. So a lot of the staff were just starting to take a breath, like within the last week.
Yep.
Which, we're actually into 22-23 now, so there's not a lot of time.
It was cool, though. I do kind of want your perspective on just the now that we're coming out of the summer of Hayward Field, right? It was a tremendous summer in that regard. I got to say, like, I didn't know fully what to expect with the World Championships being on U.S. soil for the first time. You know, like, how many people would travel from other countries? How many people would travel from around the United States? We know what the track and field fan base is here in Tracktown, USA. But what we didn't really know, at least I didn't know, what to expect in terms of, like, the overall environment. I got to tell you, I was pretty blown away. I thought it was a really, really cool experience to be in the city while that was going on for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're no strangers to hosting big events or certainly big track events, but the international flavor of hosting a World Championships, and even I had to go to we flew into Portland Airport right around the start of the championships. And just the number of different people from different delegations that we saw coming through Portland, you're like, wow, you know, this is really an impactful event. And the energy in the stadium, you know, the performances by the athletes, you know, here on our campus, it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I loved the fact, too, you know, obviously that Team USA dominated. Like, it was a tremendous Team USA environment on U.S. soil. I mean, as it should be. It kind of felt like the home track and field advantage. I thought it was a special deal, and I don't know. I mean, I hope that it comes back to Hayward Field, you know, in my lifetime. It's the first time ever on U.S. soil, so obviously a unique experience.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of feedback we get. It presented really well. I think the University of Oregon, Oregon Athletics, the state of Oregon, a lot to be proud of there, and the way that we were all represented through that event. You know, watching some of the broadcasts, just seeing the beauty of our state. And, yeah, it'd be awesome to bring that event back to Eugene at some point in the future.
And the ratings from NBC, the report was they were very high. It was some of the highest ratings they've had for track and field events on NBC, which is great. So more eyeballs, the better. You know, all right, I got to ask you about the greater college athletics landscape. Are you like the rest of us where you're just kind of trying to see how things shake out and who really knows what's going to happen in the next 10 years? Maybe the better way to ask this question, how's college athletics going to look in 10 years? Do we have any idea?
We don't have enough time on your show to talk about all the different scenarios. Yeah, you know, it's a rapidly shifting landscape, and it has been for a while now. And, you know, I think when it comes to the structure of the NCAA and all the work that's going on with the Transformation Committee, certainly, you know, going from an era where, you know, you're really legislating like competitive equity with all the NCAA rules to now shifting more to a time period over the last 5 years or so, and certainly moving forward where you're more legislating the student-athlete experience and what you can provide to student-athletes to make sure that they can maximize all their opportunities while they're a student-athlete. And then certainly you layer in conference realignment, and you know, we all know that, you know, money and resources are a huge part of college athletics, and certainly resources are what enable you to provide that experience and help you to be successful. So, you know, with TV contracts and conference realignment, that's certainly having a huge impact on the overall landscape right now. And it happened last summer. It's happened again this summer, and we'll see what continues to transpire there.
You know, I've been fascinated to see and talk with people like you because, you know, the age that I'm at right now, so I'm 29 years old. The last time there was like all this conversation about conference realignment, I honestly had no idea what was going on. Like, I did not understand, and I still really don't. I did not understand, like, the business of college athletics, I feel like, as much. So is this just sort of the cycle, right? Like, is it kind of a cyclical thing? I don't even know what I'm asking you here, I guess. Like, I just didn't understand what was going on last time this all happened. Now I feel like I kind of have an understanding, but I think a lot of fans are just, like, shrugging their shoulders like, well, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different factors that come together. You know, I think historically or more traditionally, things were split more on geographical lines, and you certainly had different levels and tiers within college athletics and within Division I. But what we're starting to see more now is that the geographical lines kind of disappearing, and you're finding institutions, you know, taking advantage of opportunities primarily through television contracts. And depending on what market you might be in or what you deliver from a subscriber base and how that attractive that is to a conference and their broadcast partners, that's kind of what's driving realignment right now.
I'm curious too, because you and I have talked a lot about how football scheduling is part of what you do in your oversight of football and in the entire department, and how that's such a puzzle, right? To kind of figure out how far ahead do you go. Yeah. How's that right now? Like, how are you even thinking about that right now?
Well, I think, you have what you've put together, and then you understand that depending on how things continue to shift, you might have to make some adjustments. And everybody's in that boat, Joey. So, right now nothing's changed within the Pac-12 in terms of our scheduling model, and which means that, our approach to non-conference scheduling can kind of continue. But you certainly go into all of it understanding that you have to build in as much flexibility and you have to be nimble.
Eric Rodell is with us, Deputy Athletic Director. So when was the Georgia game scheduled? Do you remember how far back this was?
I do, because I remember talking to Mario about this game, and he loved it from the perspective of being able to take our program down to the Southeast.
Sure.
And from a recruiting perspective, and he would have been going into his 5th season, I believe. So he felt like, this is going to be a great time to go down and play this game. And it is. It's a great opportunity for our program. But I remember when we scheduled it because it was the first summer after we had hired him as our head coach. So, here we are.
Boy.
I don't know that we expected we'd be playing the defending national champions, but we did know that Georgia was on a really good trajectory and that, we're playing an outstanding opponent.
Isn't it amazing, though, just the way that things work out, right? Like, you scheduled this game years back. Now you've got the defensive coordinator that was on the staff that helped win a national championship as the head coach. I mean, it's just it really is sometimes amazing to me. One, the way the stars align, but two, just how fast things can move. It is wild to think back. Like, I remember you and I talking about this game being announced 5 years ago, and that's – I actually thought about – so I didn't have a chance to go do this, but I thought about going back into the archives, pulling out you and I's conversation about this game being announced. And truthfully, I ran out of time to go back and get it because I didn't think about it until about 2 hours ago. But it was maybe we'll do that, honestly. Maybe we'll dive back and we might get back to you on that.
You'll find it somewhere in 2018, I think.
Okay. We might be doing an archive dive on our server here. Eric Rodell is with us, Deputy Athletic Director. I want to get a timeout. When we come back, a lot of football season excitement. And I have to ask you, because you're one of what I would consider the resident tennis experts in the Oregon Athletic Department. I got some tennis questions for you.
All right. Bring them on.
All right. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time for today's STEM tip.
Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
We were just talking during the break at Stuck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union, back in the Country Financial studio with Eric Rodell. And I forgot to mention earlier, Tom was asking on the live stream, or on the YouTube live stream, if there was going to be a stream for the women's soccer exhibition on Friday. No, there's not. Since it's an exhibition, there's a lot of reasons not for that. I hope I'm not out of turn saying this, but the Ducks would prefer not to give their opposition some free scouting video. That's pretty much how that sums up, I think. So it's free to the public. Come out to Pape Field. You'll be able to make it if you're in the Eugene-Springfield area or a little bit beyond. Eric Rodell joining us. So we were just talking during the break about preparations for baby Mac. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have car seats gotten simpler? Because everyone told me the car seat's going to be the worst thing that you're going to have to install, and it took me 2 minutes. Did I do it wrong?
Yeah, I always heard that too, and I didn't find it to be too complicated.
Okay,
especially, once you get to number 3, it's all pretty
right.
turnkey.
Right.
The hardest thing, Joey, the thing I remember is my wife having baby shower and me putting together inordinate amounts of things, furniture, toys, whatever it was, and then as quickly as that happens, then at some point you're trying to clear space in your house to get rid of it all. So it goes fast.
Your sons are to the age now where I'm really excited, though, because I've always said that maybe my most anticipated piece of being a father is when I can buy presents for them that are actually for me, or at least in part for me. Is that true? Like, how true is that you get to that point in their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on how shared your interests are,
Sure.
especially with your kids, you can definitely benefit from some of those things.
So, like, when did you buy your oldest son his first tennis racket, for example?
He probably had a little one when he was like 5 or 6, so
Okay.
I'm not going to benefit much from that. But here's an example. We took a little trip, talking about tennis. So Indian Wells got canceled a couple years ago because of COVID. They rescheduled it. Just happened to get rescheduled when we played our bye week last October. So the boys are really into tennis. So I'm like, all right, we'll take a little road trip down to Indian Wells, which was awesome for me.
Yeah.
I was a large beneficiary of that, but it was for them.
Right. That's cool. That's really cool. Well, I did have a couple tennis questions for you. One, so we've talked about the ball before that Nils Schielander donated to the studio, the McEnroe Nadal Federer ball. Well, Eric, I got to tell you, Coach Schielander might be the biggest I don't even know, I think contributor to the set at this point. So if you can see above Scott Phillips' head up there, that white polo. So Coach Schielander gave us that, and it's McEnroe, Nadal, Federer on an Oregon tennis polo. I think it might be the coolest thing that we have in the studio now, and I'm not sure that it's even close to the helmet or anything. I mean, I don't think the helmet's even close to those things.
Yeah, you got the all-time greats on one shirt.
I know. So Coach Schielander, thanks. Talking about all-time greats, though, the reason I bring this up, Serena Williams announced that she was going to be retiring after the U.S. Open. Just, when I knew you were going to be on the show and I saw that, I was like, man, I got to ask you as a tennis fan just about like her impact on the sport and beyond.
Huge. I mean, from a tennis perspective, the results speak for themselves. Just the longevity of her career, how she came on the scene, following in her sister's footsteps, and just her impact on the sport. But, I think she transcends tennis and her impact on society and just, paving the way for others. I think watching the movie King Richard kind of give you a cool perspective on the Williams a little bit. And it gave me a little bit of a different perspective on like Venus and Serena and, how they got to where they were or how they became to be great and what that process looked like for them.
Yeah.
With some, I guess, cinematography, and some added elements there. But pretty cool story. And, she she's 40, 41, so she's had a pretty good run.
I think it's safe to say, I mean, I've put her in the same category as like a Tom Brady in terms of longevity of success and impact on the sport. I mean, there's not very many that fit into that conversation. I feel like she's one of them, especially in American sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No question.
So speaking locally about tennis, Coach Schielander, Coach Nagel, both coming off, I think, what I would call solid, successful years. And, tennis is such a unique sport in that it really is year-round. It's not too long from now we're going to be talking about the fall seasons for both tennis teams.
Yeah, well, their student athletes are off, in different parts of the world right now competing, and I get texts from both Courtney and Nils all the time, like, so-and-so had a great result here, or, they're playing a match. You can watch it on a stream here. So it's fun to try to keep up with all that over the summer, and really excited about the newcomers coming in as well with those programs. And, yeah, I mean, they're going to be getting after it soon, and the fall competition season offers a lot of opportunity for them more as individuals to go out and play tournaments and compete and really build a resume for the spring.
Coming up on the Georgia game, of course, so there's a lot of preparation, fall camp underway. What else is on your desk over the next few weeks? Like, what's the preparation like for you and in your role heading into football season?
Yeah, I mean, we're all getting ready for football. I mean, the biggest thing for us right now is getting ready to host the 6 games that we're going to host. We've got an awesome schedule, great lineup of opponents. When you talk about Eastern Washington and then BYU, who's a top 25 team, and the Pac-12 home slate, you've got Stanford, Washington, Utah, and UCLA. All of them are really attractive games. So we're going to try to maximize that to the greatest extent we can. We're still selling season tickets, group tickets, mini plans, working on enhancements to the fan experience. I mean, those are the things that we're spending the most time on over the summer right now, is getting ready for that, and then all of our other fall sports and just getting ready and preparing. We're making some upgrades right now to the Mo Center, which is going to look really cool for football season and for all of our student athletes that train there. Some aesthetic enhancements and just putting a fresh coat of paint on it.
Yeah.
So that's going to look great.
I don't want to say too much, but the Mo looks awesome.
Yeah.
Walking through it's been a tremendous project to see, and it never stops, right? Like new turf at Pape Field, Mo's getting that. I mean, there's always a project, right? There's always a project.
That doesn't stop. You got to be moving forward. Yeah. So, we're working on those types of things, and just trying to grab a few breaths here and there and get recharged.
Excellent. Well, thanks for being with us. I'm going to let you go because my wife hasn't called yet, so that means you're off the hook.
All right, next man up.
That's right. Well, fortunately, Jordan's here. He's on ready. He's warm in the bullpen, ready to step in as needed. Do we miss anything, though? What else should fans know?
No, just, a lot of excitement. The Georgia game, we sold out our allotment, so, everybody's looking forward to that opportunity. Hopefully we see everybody down in Atlanta, bring as much green and yellow into that place as we can. It's going to be a tough environment, but what a cool opportunity for our student athletes in our program.
He's Deputy Athletic Director Eric Roedl. I hope that you get a little downtime. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch up with you in about a month.
Yeah, next time I see you, your life will be a little different. Your eyes are going to be a little heavier.
Yeah. Forever.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. Every time I do one of these interviews now, I'm like, I might not see you for a month. I might not even see you in the hallway for a month. So we'll see how it goes. But thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thanks, Joey. See you at practice.
When we come back, Matt Ulmer, head coach Oregon Volleyball. It's report day for Oregon Volleyball. Head coach for the Ducks next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We are back inside the Country Financial Studio. I'm Joey Mack, and he's Matt Ulmer, head coach, Oregon Volleyball. Hey, happy report day, buddy.
Thank you.
Are you, like, so excited to be back with your team?
So excited. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the first day of school, isn't it?
Let's go.
Is it the first day of school? Is that what it feels like?
No.
Really? So what does it feel like?
Feels more like your birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did they get you a cake?
Today's my birthday.
Is it actually?
It actually is my birthday. And I figure I wait until we get on the air to see how much research you have done, which
I have not done that much research.
Is very little.
Wait, hold on a second.
And you feel like you know someone.
Archive of the email. Our favorite person, Paula, sending out our birthday spreadsheet. Today is the 9th.
Yes, and
Matt
what do you see there?
And also Wilson Love.
Yeah. How about that?
2 coaches on August 9th.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even get you a cake. Yeah, would you like here? I
should just take that back.
I can bestow upon you the Matt Ulmer volleyball.
Yeah.
His first career win. You know, it sits here on the desk all the time, just so that we always think about Matt Ulmer.
Yeah, I never want you to forget.
Yeah.
Me.
I never do. But I did forget.
I sure
your
hope
birthday.
you do. Yeah.
Do you know when my birthday is? What day is it?
No idea.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Hey, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
So
yeah,
how often?
But it actually does feel like my birthday.
How often does report day fall on your birthday? It must happen every few years then, right?
It's always either been report day or the first day of practice.
Okay. Would you rather be report day or the first day of practice?
Both are great.
Okay.
If I get to be with the team, it's a win.
So it feels like your birthday. All right. Fatherly advice again.
We're doing this again?
We're back to fatherly advice.
Why? You don't have a baby yet?
I do not have a baby yet. I'm still here. Baby's due any day. So did you start school early or did you start school late since you were an August baby?
There was people in my grade a whole year older than me.
Wow. So you started early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus I was a late bloomer, so it was just like a double bam.
So do you wish that you had started late, like in hindsight, 2020?
I don't know, because then it helps you become who you are, right?
Yeah.
So but from a sports standpoint, I didn't grow until I left high school.
But at the same time, you played up, right? Had to play with the bigger kids, and then you maybe got better in the long run. I don't know.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Everyone tells me like if you want your kid to be a good athlete, start them later because then they're going to be bigger and stronger and all that.
But I was 4'11" in high school.
Really?
Like that's pretty brutal.
4'11" like senior year or freshman?
My freshman year, I was 4'11".
Okay. What were you your senior year?
I was 5'6" going into my senior year, and then I gained 5 inches. I was 5'11" when I graduated.
No kidding.
And then 5 more inches freshman year, and then 3 more after that.
So you were totally the college growth
big
spurt.
time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you hear like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, those stories,
Right.
like that was me. It was like 13 inches in just over 2.5 years.
That's wild. And do you have knee problems now?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I had back stuff in the middle of it. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Well, if it happens now, it's probably not because of the late growth.
Okay.
I would think.
Well, happy birthday.
I mean, I don't know how that works. But
happy report day.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it's a big day.
It is a
and
huge
I'm with
day.
you guys. Like,
Man, so every Tuesday, Matt Ulmer joins us.
Life is good.
Yesterday I was talking about the preseason honors, and, I'm kind of curious your perspective on this. Like, when someone like me sits here and says, like, hey, 2 players on the preseason all-conference team, that's awesome. Ducks picked to finish 4th in the preseason poll. One, do your student-athletes, do you as a coach even look at that and care? And then 2, maybe I'll just ask that question first. Maybe let's just go with that one first.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't talk about it.
Yeah. You're not like, hey, congratulations.
I did it.
Brooke Nuneviller and Hannah Pukas preseason all-conference?
I didn't do that at all.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
So is it good that I do it? Like, that's what I don't know. It's such a double-edged sword.
I mean, you have to talk about stuff, right?
I mean.
So you should probably talk about it.
But I could talk about something else.
Like what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's what the coaches think, right? Yeah. So it's how, we're prognosticating.
But you'd rather be on the end of the year list, right?
100%.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that, and I will definitely congratulate that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, the preseason stuff is, so much of it is based upon what you've done.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it's hard. Like, this group has never played together. So it's hard to know what it's going to look like. On paper, it's exciting.
Yeah.
But then you got to put it out there.
It's very exciting.
It is, yeah.
Well, it gives me a reason, though, to ask you a question about Hannah Pukas.
About volleyball?
Yeah. Yeah. So tell
fans. This is
fans,
really a little too early, maybe. I don't know.
4-something minutes in.
Okay.
Tell fans a little bit about Hannah Pukas coming in. I mean, that's a big-time addition. You look at the preseason all-conference list, it's like, wow, that's a big-time addition.
Yeah. So Hannah transferred in from Washington State, where she was all Pac-12, all region. I think she's on an All-American list.
Yep.
She's a really good setter. Just commands the floor really well, has great touch, can move the ball around. She's lefty, so we haven't had a lefty setter since August, Rasky. So she likes to be offensive. But great teammate, has been just a really easy fit. So it's been fun to see her, get involved. So, yeah, we're lucky this year. We have Hannah, we have Elise Ferreira, and we have Ava Cebulera, who's a freshman. And so we have 3 really talented setters, so we feel good about that.
I was interested yesterday because somebody, when I was talking about this, asked in the comment section, like, so with such depth at setter, do you want to run a 2-setter system? Do you want to run the 6-2? Do you have an answer to that question yet?
I mean, I think every year we never look the same.
Right.
Other than maybe last year because the seasons were back-to-back so quickly because of the spring season. I think it's about what's the best fit for us. And you won't know.
Yeah.
So, and, we did a 6-2 before for a lot of different reasons. And this year we might not have some of those same reasons. So it'll just be, what makes sense for us.
I think it's really fascinating in volleyball because there's such a focus on, like, if you run the 6-2, right? But there's other things tactically that you do in your sport, right? That change things a lot. Like, is there maybe too much of a focus on that just one particular tactical element to volleyball?
I think that's what kind of can stand out to you is the whole idea of the 2-setter. But for us, like, it gave us a bigger blocking presence.
Right.
If your lefts can't carry, which most in our sport, like the outsides where where Brooke plays, like if they're not going to carry a lot of the offense for you, then you need to find it elsewhere.
Right.
So that's kind of why we went to it in 2019. So Brooke was just coming into being a left after being a libero, and then we were kind of shuffling around in the other left position. And then that's kind of we just needed more offense from on the right, and so that's why we did that. This year maybe we want more defense in right back. You could do something like that. Maybe your lefts can carry a little bit more this year. Maybe if you don't have really good slide hitters. Remember, Ronica would run off one leg, and if you don't have that, then it's harder to spread the floor. So there's a lot of different reasons of why you'd want to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of some of the reasons why we've done it in the past. We'll see what this group looks like. I think this year we do have some middles that like to run off one leg, and I think that could be something that's really good for us. I think we do have lefts that can really score.
Yeah.
And I think we could add more defense. So it could be that we go to the 5-1.
Do you feel like heading into the season that you're better equipped on the left side than the average team is? I mean, it feels like you guys have a lot of pieces there.
I really think, I've said this for a long time. I think Nuneviller is just, I'm going to be really sad when this season ends.
For sure.
So I'm just going to enjoy every moment of it,
Yeah.
because she's just so amazing and for so many reasons. But I think, she halfway through maybe last season, she became even a better scorer, a more aggressive scorer, if you remember. Her doing that, I think it was when Taylor Borup went down in the middle of the year, and she had to score more. And I think that really changed her game from that aspect. She's always been a great ball control player, but she really became an elite scorer. So I think you have that. And then Morgan Lewis has done a great job. In the spring, we had her play on the left a lot. and she was scoring really well. Mimi Collier has done a great is a freshman. She's going to come in, and so we'll see what she can do. But she had a great prep career, and she's someone that we think that could provide a lot of offense and kind of a big-time player there. So she's a freshman. You don't know, but she's a pretty good player. And then Elisa Gee also had a great spring for us, and she can do a lot of things. So all of a sudden, I feel like we do have some options on the left, that we're pretty excited about.
You always need depth. Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach, joining us, and I think that's what's so cool when you start talking about. You had some time in the spring that we don't talk as often, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, this is like, this is now we're building up towards it again.
Yeah,
I think
really
fans feel that way.
He just doesn't want to talk to me for like half the year.
Well.
Could you imagine any other relationship where it's like, I just want to talk to you when I want to talk to you? It's like marriage. Yeah. Is that what you said? I did not.
That's what
I didn't say that. That came from the headset. Sorry. You didn't hear. It's fine. That probably. It's my birthday.
It is your birthday.
There we go.
I think that we need to take a break before either of us get in more trouble. Matt Ulmer joining us, Oregon volleyball head coach. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
We're back inside the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Continuing our conversation with Oregon volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer. It's report day. It's his birthday, and the show went off the rails in a hurry. You talk about the development of someone in the spring, and then, now it's like, we're asking you about newcomers. But in some cases, the newcomers to fans aren't necessarily newcomers to the roster in general.
And we've talked about this, because our 2019 recruited athletes, they never had a spring.
Yeah.
So that's really where you grow. The fall is so much about just trying to stay healthy, keeping things together. But the major growth for individuals is going to be your winter, spring, especially, with us being quarter system, we have that time. And we haven't had that. So it's kind of where they came in as high schoolers in is kind of where they are throughout. You're not getting that growth. And I do feel like, in our history, we've seen a lot of growth from our student athletes. And so we haven't been able to get that. So this last winter and spring was great. And I'm really hoping that we will see the fruits of that.
So for example, you and I talked about this a few months ago, like Gloria Muteri, for example.
Yeah.
She's come in, has been on the roster now a few seasons, but There hasn't been a lot of off-season really for her.
No, right when she transferred in is when COVID happened.
Right.
So we never were in the gym together even that first. Like, we didn't even get any weeks, no time.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it was just a lot of watching film and trying to conceptualize what you're trying to do. And then even that COVID year, like, we couldn't get within 6 feet of each other.
Right.
So it's like, so you're still, it was really hard to grow. You had to be creative. And, we got better at some things, but not where we wanted to get to.
We mentioned this during the back. I call it like the back-to-back seasons, because you play spring and then it's so short to get ready for a fall. What's the conversation been like about that with coaches now? Like, as you're still dealing with not just the roster management aspect, but the player development aspect. Is that a dominating conversation? Is it not talked about much? I don't even know in the coaching realm right now.
I mean, I think it's across the board. Nobody felt like you're really getting better. I think most student athletes were really burnt out.
Sure.
And I think that's across the board the same. And staff, coaches, I mean, everybody.
Well,
right?
you had to talk to me in the spring and in the fall, and it was,
You're right, actually. I do like the break. I take it back.
See?
You're right. That's right. That's better for our relationship.
Told you.
Thank you for reminding me. I mean, so I think that was for everybody. And it's not that we don't love what we do and all those things. It's just a lot. And when you're in season, there's a lot of pressure, and you always go, and your adrenaline's up the whole time. And then just to do that for back-to-back seasons, I think was a lot. So I know for our group, they were ready for that winter break, and then to slow things down and break things down over winter and spring and see that growth, I think it was a real positive.
Matt Ulmer joining us. So it is report day. It's Matt Ulmer's birthday. What's the cake of choice?
I really like daiquiri ice from Baskin Robbins.
Oh, okay.
And if I don't know, I don't think I've ever had that as a cake, but that might not be good as a cake.
So you're just an ice cream guy.
I do, yeah. I'm not a huge chocolate guy.
Really?
Yeah. But I do like maybe like a streusel, like a coffee cake, something like that. I make Rice Krispie treats.
Oh.
I do think I have a sweet tooth for sure. Yeah.
In the Rice Krispie treats, are there other things, or is it just the traditional Rice Krispie treat?
No, I'm just very traditional.
Standard.
Yes.
Just okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a good one.
Is it?
Yeah. I think I do a good job on it. Sometime I'll make it for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Do
you like Rice Krispie treats?
I love them.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
For you. That's true.
Like,
some people probably.
But you bring those after practice?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's childhood.
Before, during? I mean, really.
That's childhood right there.
Yeah.
That's childhood. I did want to ask you, because today, in addition to it being report day, it's also photo shoot day. So a little bit of behind the scenes for fans. And you see this on social media for all the various sports, but the marketing crew, the video crew, the creative staff, they're all going through. And so I don't know if you know this, but in our realm, we call it a car wash.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially what it is. Like, all of the stuff that you see on the various video boards, it's all filmed most of the time on this one day.
Today.
Yeah.
I never heard of the car wash thing until like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Maybe we call it that more often now because we've done more of like the all-in-one sort of days. But so yeah, a lot of like the animations that you see involving student athletes and coaches, we actually film all that like today.
Yeah.
And then produce it, and you see it throughout the course of the season. What's your message to your team like before a photo shoot? Because I feel like you're someone that just loves photo shoot day. Like, you must just embrace the fun of the whole thing for your student athletes.
What does that mean?
Well, one, you have a face for TV. Two, you...
This must be my birthday.
Two, but you know this.
It's the hair.
It is the hair. It is the hair. You might have the best hair of any coach in the department. Easily top 3.
I think Kelly would be insulted.
Well.
But don't tell him. Okay.
Okay.
Don't tell him.
But I mean this seriously. Like, I'm asking you a funny question seriously, if that makes any sense. Your personality and your team's personality is just such that you guys enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Like, do you talk about that on like photo shoot day, or do you just let the team be the team? How do you approach it?
I mean, I agree with you. I think they're a great group, and so it's just be yourself. Have fun with it. Sometimes we'll give them like some prompts ahead of time, like here's kind of what we're thinking, here's what we're going to do. So think about it, have some ideas, maybe bring props, whatever you got going on. But a lot of times it's just going to be off the cuff, and you get some good gold, on that. So just want them to be them, because I mean, at least for our fans, we want
He's come full circle. He's come full circle.
You want to get to know them. You know, and so I just want our fans to actually get to know our student athletes the best we can. Last 2 years has been tough, so they don't really know this group, I feel like, as well as they could, and they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday, we did paintballing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a riot. Like, I mean, it was so fun.
Who won?
So, my team. Well, so actually, it was Brooke Nuneviller was captain on one side, Elise Ferrer was captain on the other. They were the two highest point getters from our spring when we did our different competitions and stuff, so I made them the captains. And so I got drafted pretty low, I thought. I thought that was a mistake, but hey, you know, we all have to learn our own lessons. However, and but so Brooke's team, Brooke drafted. I was on that team. That team won. And it was, I don't even think it was close.
I think maybe you were just the Tom Brady of the draft.
Could be. Yeah.
You know, sometimes it works out that way.
That's
We
right.
understand, though, that Nelly, your director of operations, got you.
She got me pretty
I don't know
good.
if Scott can zoom in on the welt.
And it was like the very last little second. You see that?
Nicely
where am I
done,
going?
Nelly.
There you go. Look at that. It's like the very last second before the last horn sounded off.
You know, when you get hit on the finger on
well,
the trigger,
I thought
hurts.
it was like a little capture the flag thing at the end, so I thought I had it. I was right. I was pretty aggressive at the end. I was like, let's do it, because we actually tied the last one. There's a few different mini games, and I don't talk about that. Anyway, we tied the last one, and so I was gonna make a move. Nuneviller had gone one way. I thought she drew him. I was going this way, and I thought I had him. And then all of a sudden, there's like this tarp that they had hung up there, and I thought it was fine. But apparently there's like this little cutout in the tarp, and all of a sudden I see this gun. It's right here. It's right here. And I was like, oh my God. So I just put my hand up real fast because I'm about to get popped in the face. Because it's just and luckily I got my hand up, and so she got me here. But it was Nelly. Staff person of the year. Whatever.
She was the staff person of the year, Nelly Schaefer. So good. You
but
know,
that was fun. It was a lot of
I
fun.
would really love now to have a follow-up conversation with Nelly about her perspective on the thing.
Have you never had Nelly on the show?
We have not.
Oh boy.
But just like
that
when
needs
she
to
was,
happen.
Like I could just imagine Nelly being like, I knew he would be there. I was just waiting for him.
Yeah, and I mean it was bad, and I'm looking at her. I was like, "Come, on, Nelly." She's like, "Oh, I didn't even know." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah."
He's Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. Hey, coach, it's always fun to have you in. Happy birthday.
Hey, let's have a baby. No, I mean not us.
You already have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you.
We're getting
and
there.
your wife.
It could be
your amazing wife.
It could be tomorrow. Could be tonight. I don't know.
It could be.
It could be.
Don't be here next week.
Yeah, I would like not to be.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm glad that we could.
So excited for you guys.
I'm glad. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad though that we could have another conversation before.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never gonna see.
We did talk a little volleyball.
I tried to.
Yeah.
I want everybody to know that he brought up paintballing. He brought up his own birthday.
It's because you're never prepared. You know, like you just. It's okay, but we know like this is not a surprise. We know this. You're here. I appreciate it. He knows. Wow. He's the most prepared guy you'll ever meet. This guy? Yeah. That's what he thinks? Yeah. Oh.
He's Matt Ulmer, the Oregon volleyball head coach. Today's report day.
You can't be mad at me. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Green and yellow scrimmage coming up soon.
Yes. The 20th. So season ticket holders only. We'll do like a chalk talk, find your seats.
Get those season tickets.
Please do. Let's do it.
GoDucks.com.
It's gonna be a great year. You're going to want to be there.
GoDucks.com, season tickets. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. We're previewing the green and yellow scrimmage.
Did I hurt your feelings? I'm sorry.
Thanks, Coach.
I didn't mean it.
Really appreciate your time.
I didn't mean it.
Really appreciate your time. He's Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. I will not be interviewing him next week, even if the baby is a few days late. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I love you, Joseph.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon football on the practice field again this afternoon. Yesterday, after practice, we met with offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham. He met with the media, some perspective on the quarterbacks, the offense, and just how much real football they've played. You'll hear what I'm talking about.
Kenny, a couple of your quarterbacks worked with different coaches, had opportunities over the summer. Just what you see from Bo and his opportunity to work with the QB country guys, what you got out of that?
Man, you can see his release. He doesn't pull out his front hand as much, right? I mean, the guru term is you speak into the mic, right? So you compact your release. Ty compacted his release as well. You know, he doesn't have as long of a release, he doesn't drop the ball. And, you know, Dre just really worked on quickening up his feet.
And you've had guys work with the Manning Academy before, but what do you think Ty got out of it this first go-around?
Just, you know, he gets to be around guys that are leaders, and he gets to see how people carry themselves. I think that's one of the most important things playing quarterback, and I think it's starting to carry over for him.
Do you feel like the quarterbacks are feeling a lot more comfortable in the offense now after having a summer being able to learn it?
No question.
What's been the biggest growth for the younger guys, do you think, this offseason?
I just think for the younger dudes, it's strength and conditioning. Right, getting in the strength and conditioning program has nothing to do with football. It has to do with that weight room and the growth in there.
And you're excited by the progress you've seen just across the board offensively?
100%. I think Coach Love's doing a great job.
How do you guys evaluate from day to day and eventually week to week just progress being made with, I guess, the overall development of the offense?
Well, we chart explosives, negatives, consistent plays for us. So we chart almost every measurable possible. MAs, penalties, and we're just trying to look for some consistency.
What have you seen from the incoming guys like Caleb Chapman and Bucky Irving?
Yeah, they flashed at times. You know, I think once again we just need consistency. I mean, that's what you look for in a player, is a guy who can be consistent.
Do you guys have a date in mind on when you want to settle?
No.
With Caleb, what in his skill set was attractive? And I know Dan was talking about needing intimate knowledge from previous schools. What was it about?
I mean, just size, speed, length, ball skills. I mean, it's a pretty good combination.
Kind of fits a lot of what you're looking for at X.
No question.
Is one scrimmage, and given that you had spring too, is one scrimmage enough, do you think, Kenny, or will it take two to make a decision?
No, I mean, it's going to take what it takes. I mean, whatever that is, it is. There's not a magic number to it.
Coach, we've heard a lot about your energy in practice that you bring. I saw a video of you mic'd up at Memphis back in the day, 2017, and you're kind of rapping, singing along to lyrics. Is that something that you still keep up with current music and singing along at practice? And how does that kind of help you relate to your players?
Yeah, I don't know current music at all. Just brutally honest, I listen to super old music, Temptations, Train. I mean, I listen to music that, you know, is not really in this era. I'm an old soul, so, but I do kind of know the music based off of, you know, I'm around, you know, 18 to 22-year-olds, so. I do like Rod Wave.
Someone like Kyler Casper, a young guy, reclassifies to this class. How have you seen him kind of establish himself so far?
Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job just adapting. You go from a high school kid to all of a sudden being a college kid. You weren't expecting it. You were supposed to go back to high school this year. So I think a little bit of him is, whoa, but he's responded. I mean, today was the first day I saw him really attack and be physical and really kind of be comfortable out there.
What's your philosophy on running back just distribution, Kenny? Because at Memphis, obviously, you had either 2 or 3 guys where 2 would be pretty close, 3 wouldn't be necessarily too far behind. Florida State was a little bit different. You had mobile quarterbacks. So just what's kind of your philosophy?
It's not about total touches for me. It's about yards per carry, and it's about explosive plays. So we want to keep guys fresh. That way, at the end of the game, we have fresh legs. So, I mean, the more running backs you have, the better.
And how many can you use 5? You have 5 scholarship guys, you've got 6 walk-ons or something? Is that?
I mean, we've used 5 before. I mean, we've had 4 before all be impact players for us. 3 gone over for 1,000 yards of total offense at one point. But, not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that we're going to use whatever we got, whatever our talent is. That way we're fresh in the fourth quarter.
With a lot of transfers and new guys at your skill position players, how does having a solidified offensive line that's already played together increase stability?
Yeah, I mean, we're still competing there, but it is nice having guys and having leadership there in terms of getting those guys all on the same page when you're learning a new system. Because at the end of the day, football is all very similar, right? Especially up front, right? It's just learning a new verbiage and learning the nuances of it. So having all those veterans is definitely making it a better transition.
No, it's only a couple days in shells, but just what have you seen from Josh Connerly so far?
Yeah, I mean, you see a big athlete. I'm excited for him.
Rogers.
Yep, you see a big, thick dude who moves well and bends well. So what we kind of saw when we evaled him on tape.
On Monday or at media day, Dan mentioned just at quarterback, command of the offense is going to be a big factor in picking whoever starts. Just how do you evaluate their growth in the command of the offense for you guys?
Well, I think it's just in between plays. Are they directing the show? If somebody's misaligned, are they making it right, or is the play just going to be a negative? At the end of the day. We talked about extreme ownership in our room, right? When you play quarterback, I mean, it is the definition of extreme ownership. Whatever happens is on you. If you don't score, it's on you at the quarterback position. So that just goes into taking charge and having extreme ownership over the unit when you're on the field.
Have you seen that growth since end of spring ball till now? That I know you're a couple.
And I think part of that is they're more familiar with the offense. You can't make people right. You can't fix problems when your head's still spinning. So I think they're slowly getting it. They're processing it better. And it's allowing them to help other guys, when we're not aligned right, or get guys in proper splits.
There's the
Kenny Dillingham, Oregon offensive coordinator. He met with the media yesterday, and we'll get a little bit more on the offense later on in fall camp. All of the assistant coaches are going to meet with the media during the course of fall camp. And I said this yesterday, but I think it's worth repeating that that's one of my favorite portions of fall camp is getting to talk with the assistant coaches about some of their specific position groups. So that's all coming up. Today after practice, if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, Dan Lanning's going to meet with the media tonight. We will also have a few defensive student athletes, all those interviews for you on the show tomorrow, in addition to a few guys that we didn't get to today. Patrick Herbert, Caleb Chapman, and Jackson Powers Johnson. Tons of interviews. That's how we fill your Duck Insider. Do it again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's butt.